Um, Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we'll be exploring about networking, what the syllabus demands from our networking concepts chapter, or let's say part 2 of the syllabus. So I would like to briefly open the syllabus section of networking. So this is a communication topic. Candidates should be able to understand. So basically, you need to understand what are the characteristics of LAN, WAN. You need to explain what a client server and peer-to-peer models of network computers are. You need to understand between thin client and thick client, and mostly understanding means being able to write the differences between them when each situation is beneficial or justify their uses. You also need to have an idea about the various topologies that's used in network architecture, understand cloud computing, and you need to understand the advantage, disadvantage of using wired and wireless networks. And this will cover the first section of our video. In the second section, we'll explore about the hardware devices that are involved in LAN and WAN, wireless and wired connection. And so this topic, the networking or communication topic, will have 3 videos, and I'll cover everything in detail. So let's talk about networks. So when we talk about networks, it's the first perspective or the first view must be about the size of a network. So is it a LAN? Is it a WAN? Or is it a MAN? The question will mostly revolve around LAN and WAN, local area network and wide area network. So how do I explain what local area network is? So basically, imagine a situation. You have a computer, you have your router. Now, router in a sense, not the specific technical jargon, but the home router we all have, and you have a printer. So this, oh my god, I am a bad sketch artist. I can't even call myself an artist at this point. So, and the printer is connected to the router, and you also have some smartphones and tablets that you have connected wirelessly to the network. Now, this small setup is a LAN, local area network. Now, if we expand this situation or this network into something bigger, more computers, more networks, more printers, more devices, more resource sharing, it becomes a wide area network, WAN. Now, there is something else called PAN as well. It's a private area network or personal area network. So if you create a small network with your own printer, your own mobile devices, that's mostly used for your own personal uses, we call it PAN. Right. So basically, it's just another way of what do I call dividing various network architectures, right? One in terms of client is basically peer-to-peer and client-server architecture. If you divide in terms of resources shared, there's LAN, WAN, and MAN. So I would like you to quickly brief you through what MAN, WAN does. So when you okay, another definition of WAN could be if you connect or combine various LANs together, it becomes a WAN. So basically, most of this network architecture are private in nature. So internet is not a WAN, although we have lots of devices connected to the internet. It is not a WAN because it has lots of decentralized networks, so basically no central authority that controls it, and all of them have a common point of access. So anyone, basically it's not a private system, if I had to talk in layman's term. So internet is not a WAN. And also in recent years we have also developed a new form of network called metropolitan area network. That's basically they're larger than LANs, but they are smaller than WANs. So basically, imagine a situation where there's a bank, and that bank has various branches, and those branches are connected in a single city. That would be a MAN. Whereas a bank with worldwide connections, so that Standard Chartered Bank, would be a would be a WAN, wide area network. Now, exam or in exam, you will not be expected to write the details of MAN, WANs, and PANs or LANs. You will be expected why a certain type of architecture is beneficial. So, why is networking of computer beneficial for us? So, basically, one of the reasons is you could share devices or you could share resources, right? Imagine if I had if I had to connect separate printer for each of my devices, a separate printer for phone, a separate printer for my personal computer, a separate printer for my tablet. No, the connection or Wi-Fi connection has enabled us to share a hardware resource by all the computers. Even in your school, you might have seen various all computers are connected to a single printer. The printer could be expensive, I agree, but a single resources can be shared by multiple devices. Right. Another thing, licenses to run softwares on networks are often far cheaper. Whenever you're buying something in bulk, take an example of Microsoft Office Suite. So a personal purchase or a personal what do I call? Uh, a personal Microsoft Office Word would be much higher. But if you buy it for 300 people for a used network, if personal one costs $6 a month, although the used number one might have a higher price tag, but if you divide by 300, it might just come around $1 or $1.5. So it's cheaper. They can also share files and data, right? So you could easily share files and data, and also you could create a central server where every data comes, which gives us every sort of data, and it's reliable because it's coming from a central server. And you could also establish a central server to back up data, resources, etc. And you could have your own system of communicating between devices that would ensure that your data and messages are within the system. They're not getting or they're not openly accessible to the people on the internet. And you could hire a network manager that can have a control over whatever things are happening. So this would ensure that no illegal activities, no unethical activities are happening in the network. But what are the drawbacks? Everything has pros and cons. So if I had to talk about the drawbacks, well, first of all, cabling, servers, and they can be expensive for the initial part. So I need to invest in a lot of hard disk SSDs, high-end motherboards, CPUs, etc. And also, if I am hiring a network manager, I need to pay extra costs. So managing a large network is a difficult and a complex task, or you could also write it's a specialist only task. So it requires a specific manpower to handle that particular task only. Also, if you have a centralized system, so basically there's one server and it has a control over all of the connected devices, if the central server breaks down, you will have difficulties, or the whole system might break down. So, and also if someone breaks into your central server, you have risk, such as the entire network can get affected by it. So we do have firewalls and all to do that, but still these are our problems. So what next we've got? So basically, LANs can also be wireless and wired. So basically, if you connect it through Wi-Fi, I'm simplifying this a lot. It's basically wireless LANs, and if you're doing wired LANs, that's basically connecting through internet. Here's the detail. So it's basically a guide for how a size of a network is decided. WAN is 100 to over 1000. MAN is 1 kilometer to 100 kilometers. LAN is 10 meters to 100 meters. PAN is 1 to 10 meters. Personal area network, right? So let's proceed to client server and peer-to-peer networking models. Okay, here's the thing. I would cover this in the next video, so that I would cover client server, peer-to-peer, thick client, thin client, and cloud computing in a single video. So stay tuned for that. I'll be uploading it very soon. Thank you so much.